The story begins with Armin, a young man in his early 20s, who lives an ordinary life filled with routines, distractions, and small worries. Every day feels almost the same. He wakes up late, scrolls through social media, goes to college or work, and returns home exhausted, without much thought about the bigger picture of his life. Though he has dreams and ambitions, he rarely takes action toward them. He often finds himself feeling restless and unsatisfied but cannot pinpoint exactly why. Armin is curious by nature, always looking for something extraordinary in a world that seems ordinary. One afternoon, while wandering through an old market, he notices a small, dimly lit shop tucked between two larger stores. Its appearance is strange yet inviting, and something about it draws him in. Inside, the shop is filled with old trinkets, books, and mysterious objects. Behind the counter stands a quiet, wise-looking shopkeeper who smiles knowingly at Armin. On a high shelf, a jar glows softly, almost as if it has its own light. The shopkeeper notices Armin staring and tells him that this jar is special. It can reveal the hidden truths about one's life, but only if the person is ready to face them. Armin is intrigued but skeptical. Nevertheless, he buys the jar, driven by curiosity and a strange feeling that this moment might change something in his life. When Armin takes the jar home, he discovers that it reflects more than just images. It seems to mirror his daily choices, showing him how he spends his time and the things he neglects. As he watches, he sees moments where he ignored family and friends, wasted hours scrolling online, and avoided taking steps toward his dreams. The jar shows not just actions but the feelings behind them: regret, missed opportunities, and the quiet sadness of things left undone. Armin feels a knot in his stomach as he realizes how much time he has wasted and how little he is focused on what truly matters. At first, he resists the truths the jar presents. He tells himself it is just a trick, an illusion. But the more he looks, the clearer it becomes that the jar is not lying. The reflection forces him to confront his habits, excuses, and fears. Every neglected relationship and postponed dream stings, and Armin experiences a deep internal conflict. He wants to close his eyes, to ignore the jar, but a small voice inside him urges him to keep looking. This tension builds slowly, creating suspense not just for Armin but for the audience as well. Viewers feel his anxiety, frustration, and growing self-awareness, triggering their own reflections about life, priorities, and the choices they make every day. By the end of this section, Armin is standing at a crossroads. The jar has shown him the reality of his life, and now he must decide whether to continue as he has been or to confront these truths and take action. The story's emotional hook is strong here. The audience feels empathy for Armin, a mix of curiosity and tension, and a subtle push to ask themselves similar questions about their own lives. This sets the stage perfectly for the next section, where transformation and resolution will unfold after days of looking into the jar and feeling a mix of frustration and sadness. Armin begins to understand that the jar is not meant to punish him or make him feel guilty. It is a mirror, reflecting his own choices and the life he has been living. Slowly, he accepts that change is his responsibility, and that self-awareness alone is not enough unless he acts. With this realization, a new determination starts to grow inside him, a quiet, steady courage to face his mistakes and begin again. Armin starts with small steps. He reaches out to an old friend he had ignored for months, simply asking how they were doing. To his surprise, the response is warm, and the connection that had faded returns almost immediately. This small act brings him joy and a sense of relief, showing him that repairing relationships is possible, even if delayed. He then decides to organize his daily routine, making time for study, creative projects, and moments of reflection. The jar continues to reflect his actions, but now the images are different. He sees moments of learning, laughter, and effort instead of regret and neglect. With each conscious choice, Armin's confidence grows. He starts pursuing a dream he had abandoned, a personal project he once thought impossible. The story emphasizes the transformation through action. The jar is no longer showing failures but the small victories and progress that come from commitment. The narration style shifts to uplifting and motivational, highlighting the joy in simple achievements and the power of persistence. Viewers feel inspired as they watch a character similar to themselves take real steps to improve his life, reinforcing the idea that change is always possible if one is willing to act. The mysterious shopkeeper reappears briefly, offering gentle words of encouragement. He reminds Armin that the jar cannot do the work for him, it only shows the truth. This reinforces the central lesson: life reflects what we invest in it. Armin smiles, now understanding that the jar was never magical. Its power lies in forcing awareness and inspiring deliberate action. This realization gives him peace, as he no longer fears the reflection, it now guides him rather than judges him. By the end of the story, Armin has transformed not just in his actions but in his mindset. He is more focused, more compassionate, and more grateful for both opportunities and relationships. The moral is clear and simple: life's value is measured by how we choose to spend our time, nurture our dreams, and care for others. The emotional impact is strong, leaving viewers with hope and a sense of empowerment. They see that even small changes, when consistent, can lead to meaningful transformation. Finally, the story closes with a reflective moment. Armin places the jar on his shelf, not as a mysterious object, but as a reminder of his journey and choices. The audience is encouraged to think of their own jars, the habits, routines, and decisions that shape their lives, and to act today rather than wait for tomorrow. This ending combines emotional resonance, clarity, and motivational power, ensuring that viewers leave with a feeling of inspiration and a call to action, ready to take control of their own lives.